Another aspect of autonomy, when you have a small group going off into the frontier, and this has to do with the skill set that you have. You can't train the crew for every little nitnoid thing you could possibly think of. What you need are basic skills, basic mechanical, electrical, operational skills, using scientific apparatus, using machinery. And you have these basic skills, and then you apply those to the situation or the job that is presented before you. And an example of this might be you understand how to use an optical microscope. And somewhere along the mission, you might be presented with a contrast interference microscope. Principles are basically the same. It's got to have a few more knobs on it. But if you know how to use a standard light microscope, you can rapidly figure out how to use this contrast interference microscope. And with the help of a little just-in-time training, and these are short video clips that we're currently using on Space Station, where 3 to 5 minute video clip will show you the equipment, show you the essential knobs and what they do, with the understanding that you already know how to set up, say, critical sample illumination on the substage condenser of a microscope. If you already know how to do that, then all you need to do is point out a few extra knobs and maybe an extra iris diaphragm to get everything adjusted correctly. And it might only take a 3-minute video to point out the differences between this unique microscope that you happen to have versus the ones that you are used to using. And this is referred to as just-in-time training. Another example would be understanding different types of fasteners and how to torque them and what the driving head is for the fastener. And you may be used to an Allen head fastener or a Torx fastener or a torque-headed fastener, and maybe there's some absolute new fastener that you've never seen before and it shows up on your spaceflight hardware. It doesn't take much additional training, having the skill of dealing with those other fasteners to figure out how to use the new fastener. So having a broad skill base for these essential tasks that are going to be done on this mission in the frontier is essential, and detailed training for every little nitnoid thing you could possibly think of is not going to be the way to design robust missions. With crew autonomy and the skill set required to do long duration missions into the frontier, we don't know exactly what every single little detail is going to be for the crews to work, but we know what the fundamental skill sets are going to be. And this is something that we need to work on in crew training to make sure that everybody has these skill sets that can be applied to specific circumstances as needed, with possibly just a little bit of additional training that you can garner from one of these just-in-time videos. And this is something that, with good managerial practice, you can warp the astronaut corps into a highly honed skill set group of folks roaring and ready to charge out into the universe.